Stopping the broadcast. Internet, hello and welcome back to Koi Cubed. It is so good to be back with you lovelies. It has been a little bit of time off because I needed to get out of town. I had been in town in my Tri-County area for 15 months. I hadn't seen my friends, I hadn't seen my family. I'd only seen select LA friends, but I really hadn't seen my family in 15 months. I hadn't seen them since Christmas 2019, so I took a little trip, and I appreciate you guys being cool with me pressing pause and everything, and now I am back. My mom wanted me to stream from the house, and I was like, I am taking a vacation. So we are back. We're going to go over a summation of the news now that I have returned. Basically, the most recent of stuff. My little brother is in here with the internet! He understands the all caps. I hope you guys are doing good. I needed that trip more than I can describe. My soul is rejuvenated. I feel like a younger, better, more nimble person. I hope you guys had a good time, and I hope you get to see your family, and I hope you get to see your friends, and I hope you can travel as soon as you feel safe to. I got the vaccination as soon as I could so I could get out of town, and I feel so much better for it. But seriously, I appreciate you guys being patient. I've got a couple weeks of Patreon stuff to catch up on, but I've been able to keep up on the podcast because I pre-recorded a bunch of interviews. We'll talk about that more later. That said, basically, this episode is going to have more in common with the podcast that drops tomorrow than normal because I had to consolidate 2 weeks worth of news into both. I basically had to make both shows very similar, so all apologies for Koicast listeners that feel like this episode of Koi Cubed is redundant. I usually try to diversify them quite a bit more than I was able to, but tomorrow's Koicast has an exclusive full-length interview with me and the folks who made Slow City Blues. Slow City Blues is an indie book that I really enjoyed. It's a mini-series. It was originally over at Image, and then it moved over to a new company and a new crowdsourcing platform called Zoop. And it is a really good time. So I sat down with the writer and the inker of that very fine book, and there's a full, almost hour-long interview, uncut, unedited, on tomorrow's Koicast. So some of the news you hear today might also be in tomorrow's episode, but you also get a full interview. I was going to do just the interview as the episode, but I thought audio listeners might want some of this news as well. So if there are redundancies, I do apologize. I see in the chat, not only is my brother in here with the internet, Neon Ghoul is my brother, and he just started Twitch streaming. So if you guys are into Twitch and into gaming and into spooky stuff, he streams. Lucas, I don't know the name of the game. I know it's Resident Evil-ish, and it's scary. He's into the horror culture, and he's one of the best sewists on the planet. The dude can make anything out of fabric. It's truly incredible. And we got MK Songbird, we got Scott Welsh, we got Michael McCarsell. Michael, I clicked on my Streamlabs. It seemed to be working, but I'm trying to see what the error might be. On my end, it went through, so I'm not sure what's going on there. Thank you, by the way. I'm glad the trip went well, too. I really appreciate it. Sahil, what up, man? And then we got that interview being watched by Mr. Michael McCarsell over on the Lake Con. Thank you, man. I'm really trying to make content for you guys that I would want to see that a lot of other people aren't making. I'm really trying to do in-person stuff. I'm really trying to make comic books part of the culture as much as I can. I really appreciate you guys watching those. Like he said, the interview is over at the Lake Con in video, and it'll be audio on Koicast a little bit longer over on Koicast, so do check those out. Lucas is streaming on Twitch. My little bro is streaming Silent Hill, Resident Evil, and Dead by Daylight. That's what it is. Dead by Daylight is the one that had slipped my mind. So if you're into those games, my little bro just started Twitch streaming very recently, and I'm very proud of him. So that's very cool to my brain. He's got a whole gaming computer set up. I stayed with my little bro while I was over there, and then I stayed with my best friend and alternated between those two places. And I honestly, guys, I can't even describe seeing people I've known for 15, 20, 25 years. Obviously, I've known my little brother his whole life. Seeing my little sister in Atlanta, seeing my grandparents, seeing my parents. I went on a hike with my dad, who's younger than me. I feel so much better. I'm ready to hustle and get back to work after that trip. And speaking of hustling and get back to work, let's talk about some great folks making some great work. And yes, Scott, this is some dope Catwoman art. Artist is Joelle Jones. Highly recommend you check out Joelle Jones's work. She is a genius. She is writing and illustrating the new Wonder Girl comic, which was one of my favorite comics from that week, 3 weeks ago. Wonder Girl #1 is genius. This is a display, which I am very excited to say that we've got a couple display patrons, and I did an unboxing of this display to the last video I did before I left. So If you want to see the unveiling of this and a Kiss Kiss Bang Bang piece of art, check out that. And thank you to all my patrons. I really could not do any of this without you. And if you're a fan of that Displate, check them out. And also if you want to see more Displates and want to dive into any of those, then check out that Patreon. Mr. Michael McCarsell, before I even get to the news, being an angel boy, let me log into that situation. Sorry, I'm a little rusty with having not streamed for a bit. All this stuff that's usually logged in is not. So we're going to talk today about the potential Namor casting. We're going to talk today about the confirmed Kraven casting. We're going to talk about some of the other miscellaneous things, starting filming and stopping filming. We're going to dive into all of those things. We're also going to talk about some of the rumors going around. We've got much to discuss. But first, Mr. Michael McCarsell says, so much to talk about, so little time in the immediate. I'm so excited for Loki tomorrow. Let's kick it off in honor of Michael McCarsell with tomorrow's Loki. I have not seen it, but the first reactions that are coming, I was out of town. I usually fight for press stuff, but I did not fight because, again, I wanted to take a vacation, and it's very interesting because I don't know if it's because of FOMO or if it's because of all the buzzwords or if it's because I usually am a little ahead on the Marvel stuff. This might be the show that went from being like, I'm excited for it, to, oh my god, I actually think I'm going to stay up till midnight and not sleep and be just tired tomorrow. I usually wake up early, watch the show, watch it a second time with notes, and then dive right into Instagram, and I do a 10 a.m. Basically, we did weekly WandaVision, and we did the Falcon and the Winter Soldier weekly water cooler conversations as well. We are going to be doing that with Loki every single Wednesday. It's back. We're going to do it on IGTV. It's going to be live. It's going to be a full deep dive, so expect that tomorrow at 10 a.m., not on Friday, on Wednesday. We're going to follow Loki's lead and go to Wednesdays. But these reactions are some of the most exciting I've heard for my sensibility. I've heard it's like a Linklater film. I've heard it's like a David Fincher film. I've heard it's Kafka-esque. The most recent thing I heard was that it was like David Fincher meets The Office, which I don't even know what that means. I've heard so many strange things about what the flavor of this show is. I'm a huge Tom Hiddleston fan, regardless of people thinking we look alike, which was weird in Boston. But I do... Someone took a photo of me and said, my granddaughter thinks you look like Tom Hiddleston. No, I wasn't. Took a photo of me, not with me. Very strange. Also to the gentleman who I ran into in the airport, that was a Collider Heroes fan. That was absolutely lovely. It was so good to meet a sweaty at the airport, and took a picture with that guy, which was normal. Taking a picture with someone is normal. Someone taking a picture of you like this makes you uncomfortable. I didn't know what to do with my hands. So yeah, it was like it's a Ricky Bobby reference. So yeah, Loki, I am so inspired. I was just reading. Excited for Loki. I'm so excited for the world potential growing. There's so much they can do with alternate timelines. There's so much they can do with basically making multiverse character versions. There are so many things that you can do with this alternate reality through time travel that are going to lead, I think, to Kang. We have a confirmed casting of Kang in the Fantastic Four. Not in the Fantastic Four, but he's going to show up there too. We have a confirmed casting of Kang, but I think that there's going to be more than just Kang, because the TVA, I think, is going to be a lot more of like a shield, like a bigger through line, and I think this is really going to kick things off. Plus, all the rumors of basically them having shot a season 2 and that just jumping into more of it is very intriguing. Basically, I think we're going to get a cliffhanger. They're going to announce season 2 and they're just going to play it, like maybe even this year. Like, I hear season 2 is done, and that's the fun of time travel things. There's a lot you can do with that element. So I too am very excited for Loki, and short term, I'm excited for Loki Charms, because they are always after me, Loki Charms. As of now, you can go to the store, if your store is participating, and pick up General Mills, not Lucky Charms, but Loki Charms. I think this is some of the best cross-promotion in recent years. Kids are all about the world of Marvel. Adults are all about nostalgic cereal. Loki himself, the character, would, in fact, want the attention of being in a cereal box and would make himself into marshmallows as a love me humans. I think this is genius marketing. It fits in canon. It fits in our reality. It's good for all audiences. Genius. And it's a pun. I mean, Loki Charms, come on. Genius. This is some of my favorite marketing, maybe ever, but certainly in recent memory. Loki Charms, thank you, General Mills, now available at a supermarket near you. I'm gonna go tomorrow. I was gonna try to go today, ran out of time. It's one of the reasons I was late. Gonna get some Loki Charms. All right, let's get into the Namor news, probably the biggest bit of news in the last few days. I'm going to try to cover the things we missed, but mainly focus on the most recent news because you've probably heard the old news on other places. Namor is rumored to be in Black Panther 2. That rumor's been around for quite some time. I assume it's true because of how long the rumor has endured, and it makes sense. You're building out the world, Wakanda, Namor, that whole element makes a lot of sense. I also think that at some point it'd be good to bring in Doom through Wakanda. But I do believe Namor is in Black Panther 2. Now the question is, especially with like the diplomatic elements of Black Panther, with the, you know, he's a king, he's a ruler of an area, it would make sense to clash with a Namor. Now the rumor is that Narcos' Tenoch Huerta has been cast as Namor. I don't know the man's work. I've not seen Narcos, but much like when they cast the incredible Finn Wittrock as Guy Gardner, my main note was, dude's got a punchable face. I think you need a punchable face to be Guy Gardner. I think it's even more important to have a smug, arrogant, punchable kissa if you're playing Namor. That dude's got little wings on his ankles, and he looks like a dick. He's an asshole. He's got to look like an asshole. He's got to be able to charm Sue Storm while also making you hate him because you're like, I get it, Sue Storm. Like, it's a very fine line to walk. So, handsome, arrogant, shredded, wings on his feet. Let's get it. So let's see how Tenoch Huerta does with that. I'm very intrigued. Time will tell if the rumor is true. It might be a long time. It's very common for Marvel to not confirm anything. We didn't have the Tatiana Maslany confirmation until 6 months later. Oscar Isaac only was recently confirmed as Moon Knight, and they're filming the damn thing. So I wouldn't expect confirmation anytime soon. I don't know if this rumor is true, but I had to comment on it because it got a lot of press. So maybe Namor is cast. We will see. Mukbang reviews in the Strooper chat. We love you so much, Coy. Thank you, man. Thank you for returning. We know you're busy. Congrats on Schmodown wins. Did you talk about Jupiter Legacy cancellation? I was not happy. I was actually going to talk about it. I have not yet. That happened while I was away. Thank you for all the kind words, firstly. Thank you for the Schmodown love. Secondly, I've been working very hard with the Quirky Mercs, and feels good to be in second place, I'm not going to lie. We started the season -2, and now we are in second place, and we have 2 sets of belts, and we've beaten the points record twice with the same number of points. So there's a lot of good 2s in there. There's a lot of 2s. I tweeted out a whole list of all the second things we've done as the Quirky Mercs, but we beat the points record, and then we beat it again. We got lots of belts. We're in second place. Started in -2. Proud of my Mercs. Thank you. Now, the Jupiter Legacy question. I love Mark Miller. I love that Netflix wants to do a Miller World whole universe, and one of my friends is on the show, Anna. But I didn't personally like the show all that much. I only got it 2 episodes, and I just kind of bailed. I'm at the point in my schedule where I can't do like 3 shows, it gets better. 3 episodes, it gets better. If a show doesn't grab me in the first 2, I know a pilot is hard because you're trying to sell to an entire studio. I know a pilot is hard because you've got to build an entire world and share with an audience and get a 3-act structure or a 5-act structure, depending on what show it is, and have a conclusion that feels like you want more while also feeling resolved. A pilot is a near impossibility. Getting a good pilot is a miracle in itself. So I try to give a show 2 episodes. Could not personally get into Jupiter Legacy, but I know a number of people that enjoyed it. I want my friends employed, and I want more Miller content, so it is a bummer from that standpoint. Again, it wasn't so much for me. Not my cup of tea. I didn't really identify with any of the characters. I didn't really identify with the world. I didn't really identify with the power sets. It wasn't for me. But I'm bummed for people that enjoyed it. I just don't have time for shows that don't grab me in the first 2 hours. 2 hours is a whole movie, so I figure if I give a bit of content, an entire movie of my life, I want to be involved. So wasn't for me, and I'm bummed for those that enjoyed it, but I do understand its cancellation. As much as I want everything to get adapted, there is a point where the money has to go somewhere else. There is a point where the amount of hours in the day got to go somewhere else. We are living in a time with Jupiter's Legacy, MODOK, Loki dropping tomorrow, all these on air at once. I still haven't watched MODOK yet. I'm just now in season 2 of Harley Quinn. There's so much incredible superhero content. Sweet Tooth started on June 4th. So right now, you can watch MODOK just aired. Sweet Tooth is just dropped. Jupiter's Legacy just finished. Loki starts tomorrow. Invincible hasn't been over for more than a few months. All of this at once, and we're getting all this Marvel content every couple months, and we're getting movies in the theater, and we're getting weekly comic books. I understand why the shows that don't really right away, I get it, but I am bummed for all the people involved. for what it's worth. And for you, because you seem to have enjoyed it. So thank you for the Streamlab, and I'm sorry a show you dug didn't make it. All right, let's see. Michael McCarcel, regarding Loki, I definitely can't do that. It drops at 2 a.m. for me, and I have work at 7 a.m. I'll be watching tomorrow night. Yeah, I'm really curious what kind of audience I get for the 10 a.m. show for basically Wednesdays, because I know people work. So I'm going to be waking up early and doing it Wednesdays, but I figure Friday was also a work day, so we'll see how it goes. If a lot of people can't make Wednesday mornings, maybe I'll shift it, but Mr. Michael McCarcell, understandably 2 a.m. is a bit fucking late, so I totally get that. Scott Welsh, I need a Marvel-inspired For Loco called For Loki. Remember For Loco? My brother and I actually had a whole conversation on Neon Ghoul here in the chat. We had a whole conversation about the glory of For Loco and what it once was. And it's a very storied history. It was only around for like 2 years in the original, in the real form. For Loki, For Loco, R.I.P., one of the best beverages and one of the worst beverages of all time. The most American beverage, perhaps ever. Pure caffeine, pure chemicals, and pure booze. It's the American way, and I miss the real For Loco very, very much. Will the Thrill liked the first season, but admitted it was a slow starter. It's Jenny said it lost me in the first 5 minutes, unfortunately. Sahil is one of the reasons I started Harley Quinn. So much credit to Smack Talk himself. Smack Talk is one of the big like top 3 people that got me to watch Harley Quinn, and he is absolutely correct. Harley Quinn on HBO Max is one of the best things DC has ever done, and I'm not saying it's better than the Nolan universe, but I'm saying it's up there with the Nolan universe. It is pitch perfect, genius writing, genius acting, love it very much. Harley Quinn, that's a show. That's a show I want more of. Wife and I are pumped for Sweet Tooth after we finish Smallville. Dude, I fucking love Smallville. Somebody save me. I heard too much about Jupiter's Legacy not being good. I just opted to skip it. I'm glad some people really enjoyed it. It's exactly how I feel. I tried it for 2. I was with the people not enjoying it, but I'm glad some people dug it. Johnny Cross, I stuck around to the end of J Legacy and had a feeling at the end that it wouldn't come back. Yeah. So, man, and Michael's going to miss the Instagram lives. I get it. Jobs, they're important. I mean, I'm doing this as a job, so I get not making all of this because of jobs. Absolutely. Is there any way to multi-stream or Insta Live for those who do not use Facebook platforms? I don't think so. I don't love using a Facebook platform because I think it's one of the worst things to happen to democracy, since we won't get into politics. But I think it's a very bad thing. But unfortunately, I need 10,000 followers to get the swipe up thing, and I need fucking Instagram followers to get jobs, and I need all of that shit to be relevant enough to give you guys more shows. So I have to use Facebook platforms, literally have to have a job, which is a real shitty catch-22. I couldn't get verified on Twitter, I can't get verified on Instagram, I kind of keep building up these evil social medias in order to make things for you lovely, so I'm still on all those fucking things. I don't love it. I was like basically off social media for a week. It was so nice. It's the worst. So I totally understand. But what you can do is, since I don't want people to feel like they have to watch it on Facebook or Instagram Live, is when it's done, I do upload it to The Late Con, which is my new channel over on YouTube. The Late Con with Coy-Jandreau is a show and a concept and stuff I'm building, and it is all there. So it's not live, but it's a complete recording of it on The Late Con with Coy-Jandreau. So just type The Late Con, and I upload the full hour of what I talked about there. So unfortunately not live, but if you don't want to be on Facebook, check it out on YouTube, and that's the best case scenario, I think. All right, let's see. Next bit of news. I'll get back in the chat after the next bit of news. I promise you lovelies. Craven, however, is Aaron Taylor Johnson. The Namor rumor is, in fact, still a rumor, but Craven has been confirmed as Aaron Taylor Johnson. Not only is Quicksilver ass kick and Ralph Boner, but now Quicksilver is also Craven the Hunter, is Liz Olsen's husband in Godzilla. Aaron Taylor Johnson and Evan Peters are now both Quicksilvers and both multiple characters in comic book movies. I just love that the Quicksilver bros kind of did their own thing. They're both in Kick-Ass as friends. Just a fascinating little web. But Aaron Taylor Johnson, who played Quicksilver in the MCU, is now playing Craven in the Sony universe of Marvel characters. I assume that character will not end up crossing over to the MCU, complicating that whole web of confusion even further. A lot of characters from the Sony universe are crossing over, and some Marvel characters are crossing over, like Michael Keaton and Morbius, etc., in the Sony versus Marvel universe. But now we've got an actor who's playing opposing characters, playing both Craven and having played Quicksilver in the solo Craven film due to come out in 2023. or sorry, 2022. My sense of time is fucked. But yeah, I'm very, very stoked for Aaron Taylor Johnson. I think he's a great actor. I mean, there were other people I would have cast first. I really wanted Joe Manganiello because I liked how Michael Keaton has the Batman thing, and that kind of ties in. Donald Glover obviously has a Spider-Man history. I wanted them to keep going. Jake Gyllenhaal was almost Spider-Man, and when Seabiscuit broke Tobey's back, we've had a lot of villains be kind of tongue-in-cheek for comic book fans, so I thought if Flash Thompson came back as Kraven, that'd be fun. Plus, he fucking looks like Kraven. Plus, he's a comic book geek. But, unfortunately, didn't work out. I think Aaron Taylor Johnson, even though he's already been a comic book character, is a fantastic choice. He's a really good actor. He's yoked. I think it's going to be fun to see him choose some scenery. I think Aaron Taylor Johnson is a good, if not confusing, choice. I think if we look at it only as the performance and only as the movie, it'll be fantastic. I just think the implications are confusing. Hell, maybe it'll be some multiverse stuff. Maybe in an alternate reality, the Quicksilver's universe made him Kraven in a different reality. The What If universe. But I don't know how they're going to play with it. Time will tell. We will see if it's a what if and has multiversal implications. I see more questions popping up. Let me check in on the chat. Mukbang reviews. Can you tell me about Midtown Comics in New York City? I haven't been to any comic store in years. I now live near Midtown Comics. Why should I go? Also, Shadow and Bone got 2 seasons. Maybe I should watch that. I've heard from my friends at Nerdist who are obsessed with Shadow and Bone that it's incredible. Rachel, Ben Barnes, lots and lots of people are fantastically knowledgeable, thinks Shadow and Bone is spectacular. I recommend it. I've not seen it, but they recommend it, so by proxy, I recommend it. I think Midtown Comics is a very good chain store. Comic book stores are having a harder and harder time staying open, so more and more are becoming chains. Midtown is still about the fans. They're still about the individual. They're very invested in their fandom, so even though it's a conglomerate, it's one of the good conglomerates. There's like 5 Midtowns in there. I've been to 3 of them, so maybe there's only 3. I don't know. I've been to 3 and they were all lovely. They've got a good pull service. They'll take care of you. They get exclusives. There's Midtown variants all the time. They don't have as many back issues as I need, but I'm deep in collecting. Like I don't buy anything that's newer than Silver Age except new books. Everything I'm down to my last 26 Spider-Man comics. 30? Between 26 and 31 Spider-Man comics. So those are all like very old Silver Age 60s stuff. So I don't need a lot of the more surface back issues. I need the fucking deep cuts, or I'm buying new stuff. So I don't buy back issues at places like Midtown, but if you're looking for, a little bit more recent, they're a perfect place, and especially for modern stuff, for trades, for hardcovers, I would recommend them, if that helps answer your question. All right, more questions in the chat. We got my mom saying hello, and people saying hello back. A lot of the OGs of the Koi Pond. We got your Saheels, your Michael McCarsles, the very familiar names. I saw, Johnny Cross says, I saw the Small Crick preview of Sandman today. Do you think Netflix is going to nail it on this show? I do. I know a little bit about it. Not a lot, but I know some people that worked on it. And what I know is insane. What I know is the show. What I mean by what I know is the show is I know what differences there are and what works, and I think they're going to be really good medium adaptation choices. I don't know a lot about the story, but I know some of the visual choices and some of the aesthetics they chose are genius. I think the casting is perfect. It's going to be good. I think it's going to be really exceptional. It's one of the hardest things to translate. I'm excited to walk through a dream. I'm excited to live in a nightmare. I'm excited for an existential crisis at Netflix, and they've got the money to do it. So I think it's going to be great. Alrighty. Michael's excited for Aaron Taylor Johnson. He's bummed he's not in No Way Home, as am I. AJ, one of the wielders of power in the chat, one of the only 2 moderators and a Tater Tot member of the Patreon, Mr. AJ Lancaster. Aaron Taylor Johnson was the bomb in Nocturnal Animals, yo. He really was. That movie's fucked up, and he's incredible in it. Ashton Drew, I'm doing quite well, man. Hi, and I'm doing very well. I just got back from vacation, probably the most I've ever needed a vacation, and I actually feel better. I need to sleep. I'm a little behind on sleep. I got in at 2 in the morning, and I woke up and recorded podcasts all day, and now I wanted to be with you guys, so I'm a little worn down. But my heart, my spirit, my soul is full. My sleep meter is empty. So after I sleep a couple nights, I'm going to be great. I'm going to get to the gym tomorrow. I was going to go today, but I was like, nah, tomorrow. I'm going to get back to it tomorrow. But I'm doing well, man. I appreciate it. Drew914, hello to you. We got Scott Welsh. That's exactly who I wanted as Craven as well. Aaron Taylor Johnson's great, though. Thank you. MK Songbird, Netflix took its while with that Shadow and Bone renewal. Felt like it was inevitable and just holding news for Netflix Geek Week. Yeah, I mean, Geek Week is definitely trying to capitalize on all of that. Like, that's what you need, right? You want your own little corner of the thing. I'm really curious how that show does. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. All right, back to more news, you lovelies. Oh, wait, we got something else from the great Michael McCarcel. Michael says, with a Streamlab. Oh, how could I forget? Part 1 of Batman The Long Halloween comes out in 2 weeks. One of the greatest detective stories in Bat history. I hope we can get the rest of the low Batman stories in animation. I forgot that was out in 2 weeks. Holy shit. Yeah, that's out, like, very soon. That's very fucking exciting. I love The Long Halloween. I love Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale. I would love to see more of that as well, so I agree with Michael in plugging the glory of Batman The Long Halloween Part 1 dropping in 2 weeks. That is one of the things I am going to try to watch. I'm so fucking overwhelmed by the amount of content, but I got to. I'm going to try to match The Long Halloween, and I will let you guys know my thoughts as I get the time to watch it. Very hyped for more Loeb animation as well, Mr. McCarcel. All right, back to the rundown. We've also got our first look at Mr. Jensen Ackles as Soulja Boy. Now, this is something I do talk quite a bit with Jake about on tomorrow's show, so if you want to hear me and Jake's thoughts on Soulja Boy, cranking that Soulja Boy, then do check that out. But in brief, I think this suit looks incredible. It took them over 6 months to make. I went to the set of season 2 of The Boys almost 2 years ago now, in Toronto to go check out season 2, and the costumes are stunning. It's some of the best work I've seen in any medium. They are absolutely geniuses over there. They care about making it real to the world. They care about making it real to our world. They care about the balance of cheese and realism to the comic books. They do such good work, and that Soulja Boy costume is no easy feat. It is tactical. It is flexible. It looks like the comic. It is so fucking good. I'm so impressed with their Soulja Boy. And Jesse Swift, what up, Merc? We were just talking about how much the Quirky Mercs are putting in works. Quirky Merc work. Jesse Swift is also one of the Quirky Mercs putting in work, who's going to be owning very, very soon. Hello, sir. That Coy is so hot right now. He just got back from a very humid Atlanta and a very humid Boston, so he is quite hot right now. What up, man? Thanks for joining in. But yeah, I'm very fucking stoked for Soulja Boy, and I think Jensen Ackles, who almost played Captain America, is going to be very fun as a commentary on Captain America. Now, there's 2 ways it could go. There's 2 Soulja Boys. One is a fucking Agent Walker, super militarized, holy shit, intense character, and it's gonna be hardcore, and Jensen Ackles plays it fucking stoic and hardcore and intense the whole time. Or there's kind of the spoof commentary in Captain America, a playful nod of stupidity, which it'd be funny if he's playing it stoic, and then he ends up being a goofball of a character. Now, I could see either one benefiting. I could see the benefit in having there be a foil for Homelander by having, obviously, the Superman archetype of Homelander juxtaposed with the Captain America archetype with sincerity, or a foil in the comedic levity of someone as talented as Jensen Ackles at drama and comedy. I could see either going, because there are, in fact, 2 Soulja Boys in the comic. It's Soulja Boy, but fucking Soulja Boy ruined the fucking name Soulja Boy, so that's all I hear. And I know Soulja Boy is based off that, but that's all I can't say it without the AH. The AH. So yeah, check out that first look. It's not paparazzi photos. It is the official first look. I don't share fucking paparazzi bullshit. I will tout the glory of these official first look photos. Derek Robertson is so happy. I'm so happy. That's the artist of The Boys. I'm so happy Jensen Ackles is gonna own. Check it out. All right, over to Rob Zombie. Just in brief, I'm happy, so I wanted to share it. Rob Zombie is making a Monsters movie. I think this is gonna be like Tim Burton's Dark Shadows, which I think is slept on. 7/8 of Dark Shadows is fucking great, and it's a love letter to the original. I think that Zombie is a big Monsters guy, and he's going to make more Monsters than a Rob Zombie film. I don't think it's going to be gory. I don't think it's going to be horror. I think he wants to make something out of his wheelhouse, and I think it's going to be really nice. I talk about this in the part of the show. Like, I probably wouldn't have watched a Monsters movie, but I will watch a Rob Zombie Monsters movie. Like, it's just not as much of a hype. So tying in Rob Zombie to it, now you have my intention. Focused. All right, I see the live chat moving and grooving. I think we're talking about Soulja Boy. Will the Thrill with the super chat. Had you heard anything about Why the Last Man TV show on FX. There's a quick tease they have for it, and you look so happy out with your friends. Thanks, man. I was so fucking happy. I am such an extrovert, and I love my friends so fucking much. I'm very, very, very particular about where I put my time, and I needed to take 10 days off, and I needed that time, and I love the people I got to spend it with. My family means the fucking world to me, and it was so hard not to see them for that long. And some of those friends I hadn't seen in 7 years, but I've known for 15 or 20. So these were people that are like gonna be my groomsmen at my wedding. These are people that, like, Aaron's gonna be my best man, who's I'm in most of the photos with. I got to see my little brother, who I'm so fucking proud of. He's streaming now, and he's got, like, you know, a great relationship going, and he's living and doing his own thing and working. And it was just so good to see him as an adult. My little sister's a little fucking making crazy shit. Both my family, like, everyone's an artist, my whole fucking family, and both of them are crushing it at what they do. So it was really cool to see that, to be honest. And then to see my friends happy and maturing, and all of us growing up and, like, sharing stories. And I think nostalgia is now my second favorite drug. Nostalgia might be my second favorite drug on the planet. I just drove around my own, like, hometown and just cried and just emoted and got all the COVID blues out of my system. And then I went to my old pizza place and walked around my old high school eating pizza. And then I fucking went to my last 2 houses where I grew up, like my childhood home, and then, like, literally the home I lived in for 15 years. Walked around it, not like around it like a creeper, but, like, walked by it and, like, saw my house. Went to my old job, my first movie theater job. Like, I did the fucking nostalgia. And I feel like a new person. I feel a lot better. So COVID had me fucking down, and it really helped. So it was one of the best trips I've taken in my life. I would say, like, Ireland, and now this Atlanta-Boston trip, and then Africa. Like, it's insane to think, like, a place I always wanted to go, a place I need to go. Like, I needed to go to Africa to experience how different the world is there. Like, those moon rises. Anyway, Africa's another, I can do a whole stream on why Africa's incredible. But I never would have thought how much more important it was to get home and to feel those home vibes. And so it's up there in those levels of trips, like literally Ireland, Boston, Atlanta, Africa. Like, I needed that trip so fucking much. So yeah, it was fucking magic. So thank you very much. Now, you asked about Why the Last Man, and I derailed because friends. Why the Last Man, I only know the first iteration from way back with fucking Shia LaBeouf. I don't know what they've changed it in the last 10 years. I do know that Brian K. Vaughan is ecstatic from all the social media. I know he's been really hands-on. I know they let him be a very hands-on producer. It's going to be, you know, a very loyal piece of the comic book translated to FX. I also know that FX is one of the best places for creativity. Dave, Atlanta, like, they make really good shit. So I have full faith in it from the people involved. I don't know a lot of the cast. My friend Olivia's on the show, but, like, I don't know the lead, and I don't know a lot of the other cast members, but my friend Olivia's fucking rad, and the fucking creators are rad, and FX is rad, so I'm in. And you guys know how much Brian K. Vaughan means to me, so I'm fucking in. All right. Let's see here. Mukbang reviews. My amazing mother gave me $20 and dropped me off at a bookstore. She came back later and made her wait another, spent on 25-cent back issues. Mainly Fantastic Four, a huge haul. I love when you say thanks for existing comics. Yeah, man, I think it's very important to thank the things that mean a lot to you. You know, when I say thank you to comic books for existing, it's because they make me better, and I think it's really important to put out in the universe, even if it's an abstract concept, an appreciation. So I'm thanking comic books. I fucking mean it. I'm putting that out in the universe. I also have been working on, like, saying I love you and thank you and I appreciate you to people in my life because they can hear it, unlike comics. But I think it's really important to just have that gratitude and have that availability for happiness, which I've struggled with. I've this mental health year has been brutal, and I'm really working on crawling out of the hole. So I'm happier than I've been in a long time. So I want to thank the things that make me happy. So I fucking mean it when I say thank you, comic books, for existing, and I mean it when I say thank you for being here, and thank you for everything you guys all do in this little community we built. Koi Pond is the fucking best. Also, if you went all 25-cent comics, that's 4 for $1. That's 80 comic books. Now, I'm sure you had some versatility and you bought some $2 books and $4 books, etc. But good golly, Miss Molly, 80 books for 20 bucks is fucking chef's kiss. That said, 25-cent Fantastic Four, I'm so stoked for you. That does sound like a great haul. And it's the best feeling in the world, right? It's just like, I mean, my mom's in the chat. My mom and my dad used to just drop me off at the comic store all the time, and I would just fucking have a time. So much so that I started working at my local comic store at the cons, and then I would just, Coy nostalgia moment. I had a binder, like a thick ass binder, like a school binder with hand printed comic book pages. So it'd be like Amazing Spider-Man, all the issues I needed in a grid of numbers. And I didn't use any program, I just used like Microsoft Word or some processor. And every 6 months I would delete the issues I had. So I crossed them out when I bought them, but then I'd delete the issues I had in the processor, and then I'd print it again every 6 months. So I had these binders of 6-month things, and I'd leave it at the comic store all the time, and Larry, the guy that owned the comic store, Larry's Comics, he'd like hold my binder for me, but I would sit in these like warehouse rooms and sort through the comics he hadn't sorted yet and pull them myself first. Most of my collection is because I had the best local comic store on the planet. Larry's Comics is the reason I am such a collector, because I had those long moments of just sitting, and my mom had to drop me off, but like before I had a car, just drop me off, come back in like 5 hours though. I'd be in there for fucking days. And then I started working cons, and then I started working at a movie theater, and then I got into this profession of talking about comics with some of the best people on the planet. So I fully recognize how rad that is, and your mom sounds awesome. Fuck yeah. All right, back to it, you lovelies. And then I'm going to check the chat again. Loki Charms we talked about. Rob Zombie we talked about. Let's get into DC Super Pets. The DC Super Pets movie is going to be spectacular. I was already in. You tell me there's a movie with Krypton and the fucking Bat Hound, sign me the fuck up. I'm in. Now, you tell me that Krypton is crypto. Good God, I've failed as a nerd. Krypton planet, crypto dog, sleep deprived. Crypto, played by Dwayne, the motherfucking Rock Johnson. Yes. Now, that was already exciting. That was like 4 days ago. Yesterday, they announced that the other dog, the other lead dog, Bat Hound, Kevin Hart. We're talking Jumanji team up. We're talking Central Intelligence. We're talking the biggest guy and the littlest guy in Hollywood. So excited for that weird duo to be voices of very important dogs in the DC universe. And they announced, on top of that, they haven't announced who they're playing, but they announced more of the cast, including Keanu Reeves, Kate McKinnon, Vanessa Bayer, John Krasinski, Diego Luna, and Natasha Lyonne. That is a fucking cast. I'm so excited. Those two leading, and then this supporting cast. I mean, I hope Keanu Reeves is the iguana. I think he's gonna be. Either way, dope as fuck. Very excited. All right, live chat. Let's dive into you, and then we're gonna talk about Conan O'Brien when we come back from the live chat break. That's what I'm gonna start doing. I'm gonna try to start treating live chat like I've left and come back, so I always feel bad. All right, where do we live off, you lovelies? Let's see. Wait, who's a mod aside from AJ? I thought there was the one. I ended up, one time AJ wasn't here, so John Getz is also the other one. John Getz and Mr. AJ Lancaster are the two. And Mr. Michael McCarcel is going to be getting, you know what? Hold on. Boom, now there's three. Michael McCarcel is one of the most loyal fans of the Koi Pond in the game. Now it's Michael McCarcel, AJ Lancaster, and John Getz. Y'all have the power, and I appreciate the fuck out of all of you. All right, let's keep scrolling. People watch this stream later, it must be like, I'm sorry. Some people are here for news, some people are here for community. I'm trying to balance them both, but you can read news anywhere. This is about the conversation. So I'm going to check on everybody. Michael's going to get the Long Halloween for himself as a late birthday present because he is wise. MK Songbird, not familiar with the comic, but really enjoyed the first season of Sweet Tooth. You watched the whole thing already? I'm so jealous. I haven't even started it yet. I was out of town, but I'm going to start it. Produced by Downey Jr., man. Let's see. DJ Dribbles, my buddy Ed in the chat. Coy, I swear I saw you over the weekend around Boston like OMG, you know? You did. It was a moment. It was crazy. It was good. Like OMG. Quirky work, worky merc. Correct, Jesse Swift. Correct. Let's see. What's pop line dropping stuff? My buddy Ed, who's in here, used to work with my mom, and it is very funny to see this happening in the chat. Jesse also is aware of Dat Soldier Boy. I'm intrigued. I may be a 90s kid, but I grew up watching shows like The Monsters, LOL. Respect, Scott. Yeah, my horror friends are very torn on this. I'm curious to see a trailer. Yeah, I'm way more about the vibe of him like playing in a different genre, but I'm not much of a horror guy, so I love zombie, but I can't handle like torture porn, so I struggle to watch his films. This might be the first zombie film I'm excited for in a while, just because it's more my speed, I assume. We will see. The thing that has me the most excited outside of Marvel and DC is this Nemesis adaptation we are getting, apparently, Millerverse for the win. I'm very excited for Nemesis. It's like James Bond meets Batman. I am so fucking in. My most anticipated thing that... Did I not call you Ed? Ed? I said Ed. You're Ed. My most anticipated non-Marvel thing is this right here. My mom got me this hat while I was in Atlanta, and guys, fuck yeah, all right? Stoked as fuck. One, for the hat, but also this is my most anticipated movie of the year, including comic book movies. Don't tell the comics, but this is it. All right, it's too hot. All right, let's see. Speaking of your trip, did you have any hometown fave foods while back home? I did not make it to Upper Crust Pizza in Boston. That's the only food I didn't get. Family Pizza in Dracut is very, very, very delicious, and I highly recommend it. Family Pizza I went to many pubs. I ate a lot of pub food because I'm a cliche. I had some really good pizza in Beverly, Mass. on the beach. Sully's ice cream. I got a Sully's shirt. I've been going to this ice cream joint since I was 8 years old, and I've wanted a shirt since I was 8 years old, and I finally got a shirt from the owner. I met the owner somehow for the first time as an adult, and I told him how long I've been going there and stuff, and he ran out across the street and gave me a shirt, and I was like, God damn it, what an angel boy. Sully's ice cream is one of the oldest dairies in all of New England, which makes it one of the oldest dairies in the country, and it means the world to me. I've been going there for almost 20 years. No, more than 20 years. I've been going there for 25 years. Math. So Sully's, Family Pizza, Louis in Nashua. If you're a New Hampshireite, Louis in Nashua is the best Italian around. Those are my 3 recommendations. Strongly recommend. Oh, Kelly's roast beef. Kelly's roast beef is fucking bomb. Kelly's is a Boston chain, an Irish roast beef chain. Kelly's also highly recommended. I think that's everything. Okay. Nostalgia is a hell of a drug. Neon beat me by 2 seconds. Neon's my brother. Jesse is one of my mercs. Slapping those hands, Ed. Slapping them. And then Washington for Jesse's wedding. I got to make the rounds. I've never even been to Washington. I've been to Washington, D.C., but I've never been north. Hearts for my little bro, because he was on the nostalgia train as well. Yep, nostalgia featuring the Jandreau tangents. You know, some people stay on a path. Others make their own path that zigzags through the whole fucking woods. I'm a zigzagger. I wish I could have had opportunities like that. The nearest store to my house was well over 30 minutes away from my house as a kid, and my mom definitely didn't want to bring me. Yeah, it changes a man. Now you can make them for yourself, though. Well, as soon as you find a comic book store, befriend the owner, invest 10 years of your life, and then get him to let you in the warehouse. That's all it takes. That's all it takes, Michael. I believe in you. Hold My Brick. What up, man? Dude, Hold My Brick passed his EMT class, and he graduates on Saturday. Congratulations, Hold My Brick. Fuck yeah, man. Congrats on the EMT stuff. We were all wishing you well a couple weeks back. You fucking did it. Congratulations, dude. Wicked fucking proud of you. Yes. Fuck yes. Michael, I've been granted with such great power. Oh, the great responsibility. Wield it with might. Wield it with dignity. Okay, you know what? People are... Yes, I know Ed's Ed. I know Lucas is Lucas. I hear all this guff in here. Dude, ambulance driver is a fucking noble job. That's fucking dope, man. I'm just... All of this is rad. Oh, I hold my very much respect. My mom's a nurse. We need as many good people in the medical field as we can get. You're goddamn right. Let's see. Now that you're getting into anime shows, would you consider watching a Gundam series? I only have time to get into the anime shows that patrons are recommending. I've not watched anything for fun. Unfortunately, I barely am keeping up. I haven't watched the comic book stuff. I haven't watched Sweet Tooth. I haven't watched MODOK. So I haven't had time for anything recreational in quite some time. The only things I'm watching recreationally are This Is Us, because I need a good cry every week, and Schitt's Creek, because it won a lot of Emmys, so I have to keep up. But other than that, I'm only watching work stuff. So I don't think I'd have time for Gundam. Unfortunately, I'm just trying to keep up with my patron stuff, and I'm 2 weeks behind because I took a vacation. But one day, when I'm 70 years old and I've got time, I will watch many things. But until then... All right, let's get back to the news, you lovelies. The last 2 weeks of Conan O'Brien are the next 2 weeks, and that is weird as hell. That man has been an icon of the space that I love for 28 years. Conan O'Brien is one of my favorite talk show hosts, period. Conan O'Brien has affected my job very much, and I've met him enough times to say that he's a lovely man. He's an absolute crazy person, and he's fantastic, and his sense of humor is so weird and so necessary for the space. He's also one of the best interviewers at making people feel comfortable. He's so good at timing his comedy with other people's timing, not stepping on people, and he's very tall, so it's impressive he doesn't step on people. But yeah, he's just fantastic. I'm a fan of that guy. I got to talk to his kids at a Civil War screening, and we talked about Spider-Man for a while, and it was really surreal to like help educate his kids in a stuff that like he's helped me learn about being a better host. It was cool to help his kids learn about Spider-Man. I felt like I was helping Conan, and he's helped me, so it was cool. Big fan of Conan O'Brien is what I'm saying. But he's got 2 weeks left of shows, and they're going to do them live. There's going to be a live Conan O'Brien with an audience, which is what he deserves as a send-off. So I'm glad the timing has worked out. And basically, it's going to be the who's who of his friends and like some of those guests. Jack Black's one of them. Very excited for that. Dana Carvey, who they met as writers on SNL like 30 years ago. I'm really excited for these, and they're doing them at a local theater in LA. I'm going to try to go to one. I don't know if it's going to happen because I'm sure they're going to be gone like that, and I don't know if I have any people that work with Conan, but yeah, Conan O'Brien, live audience, getting a send-off he deserves. 28 years of glory. It's fucking crazy. Fucking crazy. All right, let's see. Filming updates. Shazam is now filming, and it's got a new suit that is less padded, if padded at all, because Zach Levi got huge. Really fucking stoked. The suit looks great. She-Hulk started filming. We've got our first look. It's leaked, so I'm not going to talk about it too much, but Mark Ruffalo on set. Very excited about it. She-Hulk, I think she's going to break the fourth wall. I think it's going to be a really fun, different tone, because Moon Knight's going to be really Lovecrafty and surreal, so I think they could use a little bit of the Spin City procedural comedy to balance that, so I think we're going to get a really interesting time. And Thor wrapped filming. So as She-Hulk ramps up, as Shazam ramps up, Thor 4 has wrapped, Love and Thunder has concluded, and Chris Hemsworth looks fucking huge. He should work his legs a little bit more, as his brother and many people have commented and yelled at him about it on Instagram, but he looks fucking huge. He's also playing the Thunderstrike era of Thor, which is 80s wrestler based, because he's conveniently also playing an 80s wrestler in Hulk Hogan next. So he's going to be playing Hulk Hogan as well as Thunderstrike, which is 80s wrestler Thor. I'm fucking stoked. And you need to be jacked for both those things. Like 24-inch biceps jacked. And he looks insane. So I'm really excited for the 80s madness that Taika and Hemsworth and Tessa and everyone else is bringing. And they've wrapped filming, and I'm stoked for Avengers 5, which is kind of what it looks like it might be. So I'm fucking in. Very excited. Last couple bits of news. Amazon, this is funny because it's like, and that happened. Amazon bought MGM, which makes it another one of the giant studios in town. MGM is one of the best backlogs of content out there. I think it's going to help Amazon, who are mainly modern focused. They've got a lot more present day stuff, but if you talk to like a grandparent, there's not a lot of their movies streaming, and I think it'll be very helpful because most people have Amazon. They don't even realize they have the movies. A lot of people order the 2-day shipping and not realizing that comes with hundreds of thousands of bits of content, music, movies, TV, photo saving, like you have data storage on Amazon. Amazon does a lot. Unfortunately, they don't pay taxes and they're fucking monsters, but they make good stuff, so I've got to support them, which is a tricky line to walk with my morals. But Amazon has bought MGM, forming another quasi-monopoly and further making me doubt my ethics. But I'm excited for more Bond. Ethics. Morals. Wavering. Yeah, next up we've got Creed 3 to potentially star Kang himself, Jonathan Majors as the villain. Michael B. Jordan is directing Creed 3, and Jonathan Majors is a giant up-and-coming talent. I have not seen a lot of his work, but I trust Marvel, and if he's Kang, he's got to be good. I feel like everything I've heard about him is he's a great dude and a great actor, so I'm really excited for him to star opposite Michael B. Jordan in the next Creed. I'm a huge fan of the Rocky franchise, so give me that Creed 3. We got Bill Skarsgård joining Mr. Keanu Reeves in John Wick 4, and, you know, basically anything John Wick, I'm in. Chocolate milk brick. Thank you. I think Bill Skarsgård is fantastic, and I think John Wick is fantastic, and I'm so fucking in. All right, and finally, the Sweet Tooth showrunner. Again, haven't seen it yet, but enough of you have in the chat. That showrunner is going to be directing motherfucking God Country. Donnie Cates, friend of the show, friend of the me, is responsible for the insanity that is God Country, and now we know the director. It is the showrunner of Sweet Tooth, who clearly loves comics and has great taste. Fucking stoked. All right, that is it for the news. So I'm going to check the chat real quick. Remember Slow City Blues? There's an interview with a video that is a little shorter over at the LakeCon. Tomorrow, Slow City Blues. Guys, I'm so tired. I apologize. It sounds like I'm drunk. I'm just exhausted. Slow City Blues is a brand new, fantastic miniseries from Samuel Hain and John Levisay, which is existential and ponderous and action-packed and full of crazy animals and really interesting art. And it was going to be at Image, now it's at Zoop, and Zoop is a really cool new crowdfunding platform. And we talk about the creation of comics, loving comics, how many mediums go into the creation of the page. It's a really fun interview. It is dropping tomorrow on Coycast, and you can check it out at the LakeCon with Coy-Jandreau over on that YouTube. So check out the LakeCon's YouTube, and I have the interview up there. And I will be reading the comic book recommendations after I check on the live chat. All right, live chat. Check it out, live chat. All righty. Back to the super chats. Mr. Mukbang Reviews. Oh my God, you had a binder. I'm so glad you told that story. I bet Larry's was fantastic too. I just made notes for Xmas, like X-Men 94 and 96, Punisher Limited. Mom always came through my store, was called Book Nook. Oh, your store is called Book Nook. What part of the country? Where is Book Nook? And does it still exist? These are two important things. Larry's Comics was in Lowell on Lakeview, and it was across the street from the late 90s to the early 2000s. Then it moved across the street the other side, closer to the river, the Merrimack River. And it was there, and it was the top floor was a skate shop, like a skateboarding shop. And I used to longboard, so I got my first longboard there. And then the bottom floor was all comics, and it was Silver Age stuff, Golden Age stuff, modern stuff, rows and rows of current stuff. And then eventually the store downsized to the basement being storage, and the upstairs being a combination skate shop and comic book shop. And then they sold the building, and it became a Domino's, and I just went back, and seeing my comic book shop as a Domino's hurt me in ways I can't describe, because if it was a good pizza shop, that's one thing. Like a mom and pop, like a local Boston pizza shop. But a Domino's, a corporate entity that makes just fine pizza, taking over my comic shop, it hurt. It really hurt. Larry's briefly moved to a different shop in Chelmsford, and then recently he's been doing like delivery out of like a van for COVID. So I think he's doing like, you can get delivered comics from Larry. Check out Larry's Comics on Facebook, and I think he has a website. Larry is still making those comic book moves. And thank you for being interested in that story. I wrote down everything by hand for a while, but then I expanded from just Spider-Man into Spider-Man and X-Men, and then a little bit further. So it just became so exhausting to write down all the numbers I needed as a collector. So typing it became easier, but then like updating it, and I collected every Ultimate title, every Spider-Man title. I'm talking like Web of, Spectacular, Sensational, Peter Parker, etc. Every X-Men title, so X-Force, X-Factor, Uncanny, all of it. And so it just was pages and pages. I've since gotten it down to like 2 pages. I only need like I said, 26 to 31 Spider-Man. I think I need 101 X-Men to have everything. Every Wolverine too. So every Wolverine title, the Frank Miller, all of his individual runs, everything going forward. So the pages all got shorter. Now it's just a note in my phone because of technology, but flip phones did not have note functions that could wield the might of my comic book, so I had a binder. Mukbang! I think you missed my last super chat. No big deal. Oh no, I was just getting to it. I apologize for the delay, and thank you for your patience. No big deal, just more nostalgia about making lists or binders, etc. Mom always came through. So the reason I don't read the super chat in the running chat is the actual Streamlabs site. Streamlabs is a little better for the creator side because YouTube takes 40 to 45%, which sucks, but businesses have to business. So I use the Streamlabs website where the super chats and the Streamlabs pop up, and they all stay there, so they all save. So I just pop in there, and then I can read them all as I do that section of the show, and they live there. So it helps me not miss them nearly as much as best I can. Sometimes I'm a monster in the show wraps. Mukbang, yes, the Book Nook is there, but it moved. It's in the Decatur, Georgia area now. I'm in New York City, and we'll go to Midtown Comics soon. Hell yeah, Mukbang. Decatur, I'm sorry I mispronounced your city name. I didn't recognize it at first. Decatur, Georgia. My family's in Atlanta. Decatur, Georgia. Anyone in Georgia, Book Nook in Decatur, Georgia, getting some love from Mukbang Reviews. And I do recommend Midtown Comics. Good, sir, Mukbang. The one in Soho? Shit, it's near iPic. There's an iPic in New York. I went there, and then I went across the street to Midtown. That's the one I like the most, I think, if I remember correctly. They're all great, though. I wish this was just a gallon of coffee. That would be good. So tired, I couldn't even gym. So tired. All right, let's talk comics, you lovelies. Let's talk Super Chat, Streamlabs, check in the chat, and then comics. All right, let's see what we got. Let's see. And then I'm going to wrap this up because we're approaching an hour. Oh, shit. Lucas with the correction. See, that's what brothers are for. Knowledge. Knowledge is what they're for. Neon Ghoul, also you're confusing age thing with Shaw's. Shaw Farm is the oldest running, not one of the oldest. It is the oldest, and that was near my old house in Drake. Shaw Farm, 1908. Sully's, 1986. 2 years before I was born. The Sully's is not as new. There are older dairies. 1908, Drake, which I actually drove by to basically go to the Superior. Sully's, 1986. Sully's in Chelmsford, best dairy on the planet. Best fucking ice cream, so fucking good. Go to Sully's. Let's see. So much Gundam. I really need to watch some of the more recent ones. I hear Iron Blooded Orphans is pretty good. There's another reel for Gundam Wing and G Gundam. I did watch Gundam Wing. Toonami was my shit. Dragon Ball Z's right into Gundam. Fuck yeah. Michael McCarshall. There really is LOL. Gundam Wing is definitely my top 5. You should check out Gundam 0083. It's 30 years old. Yes, that's old as fuck. Hey, I'm 32. But the animation is still amazing 30 years later. It's June. My birthday's in September. I've started rounding up to 33 now, so it's less painful. So you'll hear me refer to myself as 33. It's for my own good. Also, I think for the first time ever, I am going to make a public wish list because I want those Sex Criminals hardcovers, and I haven't been able to afford them. I want to ask for those for my birthday. So I might do a public wish list if you guys don't think that would make me a shitty person. Might do that this year for my 33. That's in my neck of the woods. We're in Georgia. Yellow! Do you think the MCU will really make Deadpool rated R? Do you think they're going to neuter him? I think they will make him rated R. I think the experiment that was the Christmas special was fun, but not as good as the original. I think they promised to make him rated R. I think he's going to be rated R. I think that was actually part of Ryan Reynolds' contract. I think he's rated R. Decatur, like potato. Decatur, Georgia, Neon Ghoul. I'm working on it, all right? Yeah, Decatur. Working on it. All right, let's do some comic recs. We're going to wrap this up because I've still got a fuck ton of work to do. I got to read. I'm 120 comics behind. I'm going to try to get 30 in my noggin today and get some Patreon work done. And then I got to upload the Patron-only podcast. If you guys are patrons, the Patron-only podcast is going up right after this show. I recorded it today, so usually it drops at 2 p.m., but I didn't record it till like 3:30 with Jake, so I wanted to get home and do this with you guys, and then I'm going to post it next. So keep an eye out for the Patron-only podcast. Keep an ear out. All right, comic book recommendations. I told you about Slow City Blues. Highly recommend it. Curls. I'm going back to the gym tomorrow. Any of you interested in curl stuff, I highly recommend you keep an eye on social media. I think I'm going to make a big old thread of fitness stuff. I obviously was not worried about my diet while I was on vacation, hence the ice cream and the pizza, because those are my favorite foods from the East Coast, so I lived my life. Now I'm going to be focusing on diet, so I'm going to share diet stuff with you guys, as well as the fitness stuff I'm going to be doing, as far as like what workouts are, what splits I'm doing, what all those things are. So if you're interested in that, let me know. And then also, I might do stuff on TikTok. I have not decided yet. My TikTok is it's evolving. We'll see what happens. Schmo business, the insanity of the Spectaculars coming and the Collision, and I'm in it a lot, so keep an eye out on the Schmodown announcements as far as certain competitors of mine. Maybe 3 out of 4 competitors of mine in the Collision madness that's to come. So there's lots of Schmo stuff around the corner. Can't quite talk about it yet, but very fucking soon. All right. Comic book recommendations. Tomorrow, I recommend you pick up Amazing Spider-Man 68, American Vampire 1976 number 9, Batman Detective number 3, Batman Urban Legends number 4, Black Cat Volume 4, the trade paperback, DC Pride number 1, Detective Comics 1037, Excalibur 21, Far Sector 12, Future State Gotham number 2, Geiger number 3, The Good Asian number 2, Heroes Reborn number 6, Heroes Reborn Nightwing, Heroes Reborn Squadron Savage, Immortal Hulk Volume 9, a trade paperback, Iron Man number 9, The Joker number 4, Justice League Last Ride number 2, Carmen number 4 of 5, it's almost done, it's a miniseries, Rorschach number 9, Something is Killing the Children, trade paperback number 3, Spider-Gwen Omnibus, a whole bunch of Spider-Gwen all collected together, pretty much everything up until the modern stuff. Spider-Man and Spider's Shadow number 3, Strange Academy 11, Web of Spider-Man 1, Wonder Woman 773, and X-Men 21 are all of the comics I will be picking up at tomorrow's local comic book day, Warrior Wednesday. That is the array that I'm going to be checking out. It's been a little bit since I've read anything because I did not read while I was home. I actually took the time off, so I'll be giving you guys my must-reads as I catch up. So if you're a patron, expect probably tomorrow or Thursday, my top 9 from the end of May, and then I'm going to be catching up as I go. So I'm going to try to get like 20 or 30 books read a day so I can get caught up. So by the end of June, I'd like to be caught up to week, since I'm now 2 full weeks behind at about 40 books a week. A little bit behind, and then new books drop tomorrow and puts me about 120 comic books behind. So I'll be catching up, but do bear with me as that takes a little bit of time. We've got another of the Super Chats goodness from the great Mukbang Reviews. Just a test, trying Streamlabs first time. Super Chat is easier. Oh, dude, thanks so much, man. Yeah, so basically, Streamlabs is a separate thing, which is a bummer because it's a little bit more clicks, but I get everything that you so graciously send through Streamlabs. Streamlabs doesn't take a chunk. They're just a company that lets you, the thing you sent comes to me. Super Chat, if you sent $10, they take $4. So it's a fair amount of a chunk. Sometimes they take up to 60%, so I would get 4 and they would get 6, but I think I'm at the point where they only take 40%. So yeah, it's insane. It's a big old chunk. So I fucking appreciate it. Thank you for testing that out, and that's very cool to you, man. Much appreciated. All right, I think I got all of the goodness in the Streamlab and the Super Chat. Thank you all so fucking much. I really want to thank Mukbang Reviews for the both formats and being awesome. I want to thank Will the Thrill. I want to thank Michael McCarsell, as always, who now wields the power cosmic. And I want to thank my family, my buddy Ed, my buddy Jesse, everyone that jumped in the stream today, all the OG Koi Ponders and the new folks alike. And yes, Mom, Baby Yoda would not let me read comics because Baby Yoda was so loud being a Baby Yoda. My mom's saying Dinosaur Crunch was Koi's go-to ice cream as a kid. He'd save his lunch money and come home with a blue-stained mouth, then say he'd gone to Sully's after school. Yeah, I didn't spend my lunch money on lunch as much as I spent it on ice cream, which is, wasn't the healthiest choice, but it was delicious. And I couldn't lie because my face was covered in bright blue. I forgot to ask you about the Logan Paul versus Floyd Mayweather farce fight. Yeah, it was a farce, but I'm of two minds. At this point, I've accepted that boxing is no longer the honorable, noble profession that it feels like it should be for me. I mean, Floyd made more money doing that than most fighters make, or most people make in their entire lifetimes. And Logan Paul has lots of attention and was able to survive 8 rounds as one of the best, if not the best defensive boxer of all time. Commendable to survive 8 rounds with the greatest defensive of all time. It's a little embarrassing to the sport. So I'm of two minds about it. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, as my brother said, milk was a bad choice. Yeah, we walked around in 105-degree weather after eating ice cream, and boy, oh boy, was it an aromatic experience of just like bloat and blah, 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 blah. Also, my little brother got me a Babu Frick shirt, and it's fucking dope, and I'm looking forward to the next Star Wars event I can wear it to, because Babu Frick is the best new Star Wars character. The best, probably, I would say the best character in the last 10 years. The Mandalorian's obviously awesome, but Babu Frick. All right, guys, I think I was going to say I'm going to take a break, but I got to get right back to work. I think that's going to do it for this week's Koi Cubed. Tomorrow, Koi Cast, Slow City Blues interview, lots of other goodness in tomorrow's Koi Cast. We've got more stuff coming at you. I'm going to do another Patreon, doing another display opening for my 2 display patrons, probably Thursday or thereabouts. I'm also going to be watching what is it, Hart something? Oh, I forget the name of it. The Nick Offerman movie with Hart in it. Hearts Beat Loud. I'm going to be doing a Hearts Beat Loud patron review as soon as possible, and I'll be doing that for you guys as well. So this week, expect a lot of patron goodness and a lot of catching up and a lot of comics and a lot of podcasts and all of those things. And Michael McCarsell, he's not wrong. That fight was a farce. Let's be honest. It didn't go on records. No. I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying, like, they both made a lot of money, so I can't condone it for the sport, but neither did the sport. It didn't go on records. So, like, I guess everybody wins except the sport. Like, everyone benefited financially, and Logan Paul got a little bit of clout, and Floyd never had a dent on his record. I mean, it was never a risk, but like, yeah. But yeah, guys, like, Hearts Beat Loud. We got a watch along probably near the end of the month, a display breakdown with some goodness. Lots of stuff coming up with curls. I'm going to be kicking it into overtime for you guys, and hopefully some late con announcements very, very soon. So much love, Koi Pond. Thank you as always for being here, and thank you as ever to comic books for existing, and thank you to my family and my friends for being the absolute fucking best. I love you guys so fucking much, and this week meant the world to me. It is the exact opposite of how last May, June, March, April, May, and June felt. Last March, April, May, and June was some of the worst times of my life, and this has been some of the best. So that's thanks to you guys, that's thanks to my friends, that's thanks to my family. And oh, I almost missed one more beautiful, beautiful moment from Mukbang Reviews. It was so close. Whoa, let's check it out. Okay. Oh my God, I think I have the hang of it. All channels I support will be happier. I didn't work before. I love all comics. Talk about new shows based on comics. Sandman. Okay, first of all, you nailed it, and they're going to be very fucking happy because this does help us as creators because it is direct to us. So yes, you did it, and we appreciate you. I appreciate you. They'll appreciate you. All channels support will be happier. It didn't work before. I love all comics. Talk about new shows based on comics. Sandman. As soon as Sandman's out, I'll be doing a full Sandman breakdown on Instagram. I'm going to make that my weekly breakdown show, so expect Sandman content on Instagram and then upload it to the Late Con. There'll be lots and lots of that over there. I promise. Trust me, I'm going to dive into the Sandman. I might even reread Sandman leading up to the show and do a comic book into show breakdown of the similarities, differences, why they adapted it into different mediums, why existentially it worked better for this medium versus that medium, all that goodness. But I will be definitely doing it. And dude, thank you for making the effort to try a new medium and for just contributing at all. All of that means the fucking world. Like, truly, thank you. And once again, you guys are the best. Friends digitally, friends analog, family digitally, family analog. You guys, you keep me as sane as I can be. And that's all I can ask for. And I love you all very much. I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.